Hey, so I decided to make a video for 3 simple-ish embroideries. I'm quite into embroidery. None of these really were the best I've ever done, but they're nice like examples of things you can add to clothing that's maybe a bit plain for your liking, or just like you want to make it more your style. Yeah, there's one adding some trees to a tie-dyed top. I do a lot of tie-dyeing as well, so if you would like a video on tie-dyeing, write a comment below. Thanks. Okay, so I started off by looking on Pinterest, of course, and got some simple tree ideas of like fern trees. I used an embroidery hoop for this, just because it makes it easier to keep the fabric tight and get the stitches neater, but you don't need to use one of these. I started off by doing the trunks, so I just did simple stitches. I would recommend drawing this out on a bit of paper first, so you know how big you want to do the design, as later on you'll see I had to completely redo it, so spoiler. But yeah, just do one long stitch along here, because it doesn't need to be perfect because we're going over it. Like you can see now, you just need to put stitches sideways for the leaves, and I'll just tie this off at the back. I sometimes loop it underneath one of the stitches just to make the knot more secure so it doesn't come undone. Next I go in with a darker green. You can use like varieties of different greens and browns to make it look more realistic. This top's actually one that I've already tie-dyed myself. I do a lot of tie-dyeing. I actually sell my tie-dyeing and embroidery. If you're interested, just send me a message on Instagram. So yeah, I'm just doing the same thing, varying my stitch length to create like different branch lengths. So now I get a lighter green and just go in between those stitches. You can do this more technically and think about where the shadows and lights are going to be, but you don't really need to think. So yeah, here's when I thought, oh, they're too small, so I'll just make them a bit longer. So I just added an extra stitch to the end, trying to not have to undo it. I just thought I could fix it simply, but I was a bit hopeful. I actually started this 2 weeks ago, but got more and more infuriated with it and left it for a while before doing the others. So yeah, this is when I unpicked it and actually just did 3 trees instead to make them bigger. This looks better, but I think I should have done it on a bit of material and then sewn it on. So next I went on to the moon phases on this dress. I like this dress, but it's not really my style. It's a bit too fancy, I guess. I wear a lot of casual things, so I wanted to add something to kind of make this something I could wear more informally as well as formal. So I'm just trying to pick a colour that goes best. I decided on the dark orange. Kind of goes with the coppery tones in the dress. I got out these beads as I thought they'd look really cool, but as you can tell they're really small, and even on that bit of material you can hardly see them. So I did put a few on but kind of gave up. But if you have any bigger beads it might work out. Okay, so for learning from my mistake last time, I did draw this one out and cut them out. So I'm just drawing all the circles, making sure they're all the same size so it doesn't like vary. You could probably just find a picture online and print it out and cut those shapes out, but I thought this would be easier. So I tried out a few different layouts, and looking back I do kind of like the one down the back, but because this dress, you can't really see here, but it's a long, like nearly down to my ankles, I thought the sleeve worked a bit better, so I went with that. I just pinned them all on, and then I went around the outside just with a, can't remember the name of the stitch, I'll write it in afterwards, but I think, is it a chain stitch? No, I don't think it's called that. But yeah, just went around the outside, basically just to create a continuous line around the outside of the shape. It was quite hard actually doing it on this material because it was such a stretchy material, so I recommend you do it if you're going to do embroidery. Cotton materials is just so much easier because they don't stretch as much, and because I was doing it on the sleeve I couldn't use the embroidery hoop, so that also made it harder to make the lines as straight, so it didn't look as clean. Yeah, I didn't actually record any of this, but basically I just went round the outside of all the shapes and then I just filled it in with long stitches from the middle to the outside. Next I wanted to do some flowers because they're really fun to do, and although this isn't entirely my style, I thought it was a really nice fun different stitch to learn. So I just started off by doing the yellow centres of the flowers. I randomly dotted these around. I kind of wanted it to be all concentrated in one corner of the pocket, and then it kind of faded to the rest, if that makes sense. This stitch is a bit confusing. To do this stitch you need to put the needle into the fabric, you then put it right next to the centre and pull it through. You then put it right next to that centre bit and further out, and then pull it out. This is the worst explaining ever. just watch, it makes sense. You basically just want to catch the thread where you're coming back up through the material, and then put another stitch over the top of it to hold the thread in place. I think it's like called a daisy stitch, so if you just search that, there'll probably be really good guides on how to do it. This is just a really old corduroy shirt that I had. I still like it, it's just, I think the colour's not really my favourite, so I think I might add more flowers to this, like different types of flowers, to the rest of the shirt to make it a bit more my style, but I'll keep you updated in the next video. I'm quite happy with how this one turned out compared to the rest. I think this one turned out the best, apart from the embroidery hoop left a mark on my shirt. So yeah, that's all 3 projects. Here's some other projects I've done, so just some flowers. These are more abstract flowers than the daisies, just more shapes and colours. I'm also in the process of doing this wave, which is just lots of different stitches and colours. It's more just for my entertainment. It's taken me months so far, but hopefully I'll get there soon, and I'm quite happy with how it's looking. As I said, I do custom embroideries for people, so if you're interested, just send me a message and I'll leave my Instagram link below. Thank you for watching.